Angela, the heat is on.
I noticed that.
It is hot, it is humid, it is summer on the Gulf Coast. So let's talk about a few summer survival tips
Yes.
for people, pets, and plants.
Right, makes a
Okay?
difference.
Let's start with the people and the pets.
Yes, let's do that. One of our primary issues during the summertime is mosquitoes.
Yes.
So they make it miserable for us to work outside, to enjoy our gardens,
Right.
and it also can make your pets miserable as well. And your pets can also have some health issues with mosquitoes. So we want to
absolutely.
make sure we deter as much as we can.
So everything that we have here is all natural.
Correct.
So I want to make that really clear
Right.
from the beginning. So safe to use.
Yes, and we're not going to harm the bees. We're
Nope.
not going to, we're not going to put anything in the environment that you need to worry about.
And I think probably one of the number one issues, because we like to be outside
Right.
here in the mornings early, in the evenings,
Right.
when the mosquitoes enjoy it
Yes,
as well.
their best time of day.
Yeah, so let's talk about some products that we can use in the garden, again, that are safe and natural, that help. They're not going to dispose of the mosquitoes,
No.
but these are repellents.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the way we should think about things as much as possible.
Right.
We want to repel and not remove them from the environment because we are Gulf coasters.
Right.
And we know that the mosquitoes are the very foundation of the aquatic food chain.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want them bothering us, but we also don't want to interrupt the great Gulf Coast food chain.
Exactly, exactly. Well, let's just start with some really easy products here. The cedar granules, they've been around for years
Yes.
and years, and they're used also in these mosquito dunks,
Right.
which are great in your bird baths or anything where water is standing,
Yes.
not harmful to the birds or anyone else.
Correct. Again, if you have, bees and wasps and birds coming to your bird baths, this will not harm them. You can leave it out all the time, but it will deter the mosquitoes. It prevents the larvae from coming to adulthood.
And you have all these collection of patio plants,
Right.
heavy foliage in the shade on your patio, or your indoor plants.
Yes.
Tend to collect not only mosquitoes outdoors, but the fungus gnats indoors.
Right.
And so these bits are very helpful for that.
Do a great job. So if you have issues with fungal gnats, especially in your house plants, you can sprinkle the granules on the surface. That will take care of the larvae. And then to deter the adults from coming through, they're really going after the organic matter
Right.
in your soil. So if you can give a top coat, just an inch or so thick, on top of all your house plants, that will deter the adults from laying eggs in the first place. And it looks nice because it's just a nice, even colored, organic, basically a mineral type
Right, right.
of a top coat. So it looks good. It also prevents splashing when you're watering, but it definitely will deter the fungus.
Right. So this expanded shale is so versatile. I mean, everybody should have a bag of it in their garage.
Yeah,
it's just many uses for it.
Yeah, there are many, many uses for expanded
And
shale.
one of my favorites is garlic barrier.
Right.
And garlic not only works as a natural repellent for harmful insects, because harmful insects work on sense of smell.
They do.
Don't worry that you're deterring your beneficials.
Right.
They
Doesn't
work
bother
on
them.
site. This little bottle right here, this concentrate, can cover up to 5 acres. And it's amazing how long this lasts once you apply it and let it dry.
It does. And for anybody who's concerned about the idea of the garlic scent, it does not linger.
Oh no, it smells like a great pasta
Right.
salad for a few hours, but
That's true, it does.
good with me.
But it doesn't linger, but it does last a long time. I was actually surprised how long it lasts, even with rain.
Right.
So that's definitely one to have in the toolbox.
And it's antifungal.
right, antifungal because of the garlic is
Right.
a
right.
antifungal.
And then, of course, I love these incense sticks. Max won't sit outside without them.
Yeah.
They work 20 feet away. They burn for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Just snuff them out when you go inside.
Right.
These things are amazing. So this will help as a repellent for the harmful insects.
That's
For
correct.
us and the pets.
Yes.
But then let's talk about a little protection for the plants.
Yeah, our main issue in the summertime, there are two. One of them is just the heat stress in general.
Sure.
And the other one is sunburn. We do have some plants that sunburn. You can see the summer stress on them. They'll actually get a burned looking or light colored patch on top of them.
Right.
And you can protect them a lot with that. This Ivy Organics has a clay surface in it, and so properly diluted and sprayed, it will give just that little coat of basically what acts as a
Sunscreen.
sunscreen. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to think of the word. Acts as a sunscreen, does a really good job of that. And then this can be sprayed on plants that are demonstrating any kind of summer stress, sun stress. And then the IV organic solution, that can be painted on the trunks of trees. We know that things like especially young avocados, young mangoes, things like that that people want to grow, that's one of the biggest things that takes them down, is that sunburn on them when they are very young. So you can actually coat all of the trunk that you can see, even up into some of the branches. And then also your things like peaches, plums, things like that. This can, again, working as a repellent, can repel some of the borer type insects, keep the tree healthy. Does a really good job, and you can basically paint it lightly as far as you can reach up into the tree until you get into those tiny little blooms.
And this can be used in any of your trees or shrubs for the wound dressing.
Yes.
After you do a heavy pruning.
Yes, because we know we don't want to use heavy pruning paste or anything tar based. But this is it coats them very well. It has some essential oils in them that really help with healing. But it doesn't harden to a point that it doesn't allow air exchange through. So you can still, your plant can have its natural wound response in spite of having a little bit of protection from it.
And then we have seaweed.
Liquid seaweed.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It is good stuff. This is good for so many things because of its high mineral content. So basically what seaweed does for you in the summer is that it acts like when we take electrolytes, when we get heat stress. And you feel that weakness and just that sudden just draining, your plants go through the same thing. So this gets the minerals into the sap of the plant so quickly that they can actually spray plants in a greenhouse and measure the transfer, the translocation of the seaweed into the roots within about 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
So this will really lift those plants that are definitely showing just that, I just don't, I'm miserable, I don't feel good, they kind of, look a little weepy, they lose a little bit of sheen on their leaves. All of those things are just symptoms of stress, and this will help reduce that.
And this also helps to a degree with repelling or
it does
fight the leaf miners on your new citrus foliage.
It does, definitely does.
And then the EM1, which we all are such fond of.
Been a fan of this for a long time. This is beneficial yeast and lactobacillus. So again, it's that healthy microbe activity. So this
sort of like your probiotic.
Exactly, it is a probiotic for the garden.
And
what this does for us is that these beneficial microbes outcompete pathogenic microbes. So this can help defeat a lot of things like tomato blights. It can compete with black spot on rose leaves, keeps them a little healthier throughout the summertime. But a lot of those fungal issues that we face during summer, and just increasing the overall plant health, thickening the cuticle, which is the leaf surface, a little bit so that they're more resistant to both disease and pest pressure. So, and this can be used as a foliar spray. It can also be used as a drench for plants that really need it, indoors or outdoors.
And this is a living product made in Texas.
Correct.
So if you have water that's on a public water system, and you know, especially during the summer, you smell it smells like a swimming pool when you turn your hose on. Draw you some 5-gallon buckets of water and let them sit overnight, and let some of those chemicals dissipate, because they will harm the living bacteria in these products. So you want to eliminate as much as that chemical before using, or get a rain barrel. Collect your
rain barrels
rainwater,
work.
But try to get as chemical free with your water as you can.
As you can, yeah. And in a pinch, especially with your house plants, you can use distilled water if you want to, or filtered water will work as well. Yeah.
And then we have our little silent army.
Yes, we do, because another one of our issues during the summertime is additional insect issue.
Sure.
And so we can attend to our garden. We can spray if something gets out of hand, but really the best way to try to handle your garden is allowing to get that good balance between pests and predators of the pests. And this is a good way to do that.
So we have our beneficial nematodes for our soil protection.
For our soil,
We have our ladybugs and our praying mantis.
And praying mantis. And these are two of the best, because some insects are target specific, meaning they eat one other insect. And some of them are kind of more broad spectrum, which these are. And the key on keeping your nematodes happy and active is to keep your soil evenly moist. Which we try to attend to during the summertime anyway. But even if it does get dry, they will retreat into the cool root zone of a plant. And then when we have a rain or you have another irrigation, they come back out into the soil. So these, they're not stationary.
These are remarkable on flea control.
Very good on flea control. They're just super on a lot of pests, and including things that overwinter in the soil. They will work in the soil even during that winter time, and so you'll have fewer pest issues the following year as well.
So, thank you. I think we've got it covered now. People, pets, and plants.
Yeah, and all we
Getting-
need after that is a cold glass of tea.
There you go.